Hey everyone, it's Rod with Powell Group. Welcome back on the Pursuit of Wealth, your home for MJ stocks, crypto assets, and interviews. Also home to the best MJ community on the planet. Today's Friday, September 8th. Happy Friday, hope you're well. And in this video, we're going to be discussing Canopy Growth Corporation by popular request. We're going to discuss where the top could potentially be. Is it time to cool the jets? Could we see a massive pullback from here, or will we going to continue higher? I'll give my thoughts and opinions. We'll take a look at the chart, the technicals, and see what those are saying. And then I'll give my just overall thoughts and opinions on the fundamentals as well and what usually happens in these scenarios. But it's up about 170% off of the lows. So congrats to the bulls who did buy the dip. Before we get to it though, make sure to smash the like, help support me in the channel. It doesn't cost you anything. If you're new, you can subscribe, tick the bell, all that good stuff, and you'll be notified on any future live streams or when I post a new video. Also, make sure to give Powell Group a follow on X. Going to be using that as my platform of choice going forward for social media. So again, the handle for that is @GroupPow. So follow Powell Group @GroupPow on X, formerly known as Twitter. And also, I just did a post there as well that Powell merch sale is now live, so you can receive 10% off all Powell merch until the end of the month, so the end of September. And Powell members get it for life. So you can just, if you're a Powell Group member and you signed up for a Powell Group private membership, just send me a direct message after September and I'll give you a coupon code, but essentially that'll be good for life. But for those non-Powell members, you can visit powmerch.ca and use coupon code POWG420. So POWG420, and that will give you, if you go to powmerch.ca, you'll see here, use code POWG420 at checkout for 10% off. And like I said, there's tons of different merch there. Is getting a ton of orders, getting a ton of great feedback for it as well. And if you were one of the dozen people that ordered, make sure to take a picture and snap it to me either in the Powell Group private community or on X. Going to be doing something cool with all of the pictures at the end, but we'll move into it here. So I've already done a ton of videos on whether or not a reverse split is possible with CGC. So Canopy Growth. So MJ Grower, Canopy eyes share consolidation after NASDAQ warning. So it received a warning on July 11th, and it had 180 days from there to regain compliance. So that puts us into January. So it could happen that they just regain, organically, they regain that $1 threshold and then trade for 10 days above it, right? That could happen. We have until January, but something we have to remember is we're likely due for a pretty big pullback after 170% move to the upside. And we still haven't even confirmed a monthly uptrend yet. So we're still in a monthly downtrend. We came off monthly oversold, but this reverse split could happen. There's going to be a vote coming up, and I think it was the fourth point on the proxy. It said share consolidation. So we have to remember that this could happen or it might not. But the thing is, I don't see why people are so it's crazy how emotional retail investors get when they talk about a reverse split. If Canopy did it, it wouldn't be the end of the world. It's very, very popular in the psychedelic and the MJ space because of the volatility, right? And the Canadian names are the only ones listed on the NYSE and the NASDAQ, right? So tons of companies have done it, and it wouldn't be completely out of the ordinary for Canopy to do it as well. If they do a reverse split, that would be somewhat negative, but I don't think it's the end of the world. And if they don't do it, then great, right? That would show even more strength in the stock. And here we are, we hit the high of the day today, and the high of this bounce, we've hit 95.9 cents. So we're very, very close to that $1. Then we need to trade for 10 days above it consecutively. So it could very well happen. We still got until January. But at the end of the day, if you're looking at opportunity, I don't think it's a big deal, right? We know that tons of companies have already done reverse splits, and if CGC were to fall, into that same fate, well, then it wouldn't be the end of the world, right? These other companies that have done reverse splits, did they go to zero? No, they're still trading, right? There's still tons of companies that might have to do the same, right? So the fact that CGC hasn't done one yet, I don't think it's the end of the world. But we're starting the monthly bounce, and at this point, off of the low, you can see here from the low, and this is just a rough estimate, you can see here we're now up about with the high of the day today, it's about 180%. And tons of people are saying, how come Canopy is running more than Tilray, for example, right? Well, Tilray, it was only up 2% today, and CGC was up 22%. But let's look at Tilray off of its low over the last few months, right? It ran first. So it's up over 120%, right? Almost 125%. So when you're comparing, CGC to Tilray, 170% off the lows for CGC and 125% off the lows for Tilray over the last few months, you can't look at it on a daily basis, right? You can't look at it, down to the second, the day, the minute. You have to look at it as on a monthly time frame, especially when we're this beaten down, 80-90% plus from February 2021 highs and all-time highs in some cases. You just need to look at it holistically. And right now we're around the same. And you have to remember that Tilray's market cap is in the billions and CGC's is in the 100 millions, right? So it takes way more dollars to move Tilray, right? And it takes way less dollars to move CGC. So there's a reason why CGC is seeing more of a bounce. It's because it was more beaten down, right? We had no monthly resistance all the way up to $4.77. And then we had the EMA 12 all the way up there at 204. So we had a ton, and we were monthly oversold. And I tell people all the time, if you know nothing about technical analysis, if you just buy when we're close to oversold and undervalued, and then, take profit and sell when we're close to overbought and overvalued, you'll do better than 99% of traders out there. And right here, we were monthly oversold. And then we went off to see, like I said, about 180% a move from here. But that $1 could be where we bump our heads. But realistically, we have no resistance all the way up until EMA 12 there at $2.04. If we look at the weekly time frame here as well, we're blasting off. Look at that volume, massive volume. And something that I mentioned as well in one of my previous videos was that we had this all-time high record monthly volume. Look how much it was, right? Nowhere near, right? Nowhere close. We had 1.026 billion shares traded that month, and the average was 246 million, right? So if we take a look at that, that's what you want to see near a bottom. You want to see, down 99% from its all-time highs and February 2021 highs. You want to see a volume climax and then a massive move and defense by the bulls, right? And we've seen a massive move, over 180% of upside off of the lows. And we had that volume climax and we were monthly oversold. So we had all the reasons to potentially load up. But again, it wasn't without risk, right? There's definitely risk. There's definitely a lot of reward, in my opinion, a lot more reward than risk, right? But you might be somebody who's been holding Canopy for a while now and you're saying, oh, I still need another 10x before I get back to break even. Well, again, just let that be a lesson to you, right? And that's why we need to make buying and selling decisions. If you weren't adding on this drop, well, then again, you can learn from that lesson, right? Everybody's situation is different. I was buying the lows every time we hit new lows. Every time I would buy, I might add 10% lower than that, right? But you need to have a plan. And what's very evident over the last couple of weeks after we've seen these monster moves across the sector is people just didn't have a plan, and they missed the move and they think they missed the move entirely. Well, if we take a look at the highs of February 2021, CGC was down 99%. If we look now, we're still down 98%. So you haven't missed anything. And we still need to confirm a monthly uptrend with a higher low and higher high. I mentioned that in my Tilray video from yesterday. Still needs to confirm a monthly uptrend. So we could pull back from here. We could, like I said, we could even keep going, right? We could hit that $1, maybe even get above $1. And this is usually where people start to chase and get FOMO. So they FOMO buy and panic sell. It's the opposite of what we're supposed to do, right? People make buying and selling decisions based on emotion rather than logic and facts and data and support, resistance, all that stuff, right? So look at where we are. We're daily overbought, but we have no daily resistance all the way up here until 126. So we could get to $1. We could shoot above $1. People are going to get FOMO, is what I would suspect is the most likely scenario. They're going to say, oh, we're going to be back. We're not going to do a reverse split. And then they just buy. And then that's when we're due to pull back, 20, 30%. Like we could easily pull back 20, 30% from here and still just be very healthy, right? And then, like I said, we still need to confirm a monthly uptrend. We've got our monthly or weekly uptrend rather with the low, high, higher low, and higher high. So we're in a weekly uptrend, but before we can be confident that the bear market is over, we need a monthly uptrend. So if you're looking at a long-term entry on CGC, or if you're looking at a short, could be a nice short at $1. Maybe you wait for about $1.25, go short. But when we're down 98, 99%, I wouldn't recommend going short, right? The momentum is likely going to shift back to the bulls after, like, if we're down 99%, you missed your short, right? Short means you're betting that the price is going to go down. So I would say, time in the market is better than timing the market. So in this instance, being long in betting that the price is going to go up, and then time in the market. If you're trying to day trade this stuff, you're just going to get left behind, and it's different if you got one long-term account or one short-term account. And there's a lot that I want to say. I can't say it all in this video because I'm trying to keep it as short as possible. But consider joining palgroup.ca or pursuitofwealthgroup.com. You can sign up for a membership there, or one of our monthly or yearly memberships for the private chat community, and we'll discuss game plans a little bit more. But again, I'm not a financial advisor. I can tell you what I would do in your shoes, but it's not financial advice, right? So again, I was okay. If we kept going lower, I was okay. I had my short-term accounts, I had my longer-term accounts, my no touch, and then I was okay just dollar cost averaging. But I also had my bags packed, so if MJ started to run like it has, and expecting after this Schedule 3 recommendation from HHS, and then speculation about safe banking and Florida being on the ballot, we also have potential for legalization of medical in the U.S., which Biden said he was always for. And then we have the NJ Act review here in Canada. So there's so many catalysts. And if you weren't paying attention, then you must have been living under a rock, or you were just too emotionally blinded by the downward price action, which is what the stock market is designed to do, that you couldn't see opportunity, right? So again, there's a lesson to be learned here. And from my perspective and my opinion, I think we could continue to run from here, because this is where people are going to get FOMO. And like I said, they're probably going to run it above $1. And then people will say, oh, look, no more reverse split, I'm just going to buy it. And then it crashes 20, 30%. And then they're back in the same predicament where they FOMO buy and panic sell. And then we'll probably come down here, back test the EMAs there around 63 cents. Maybe even we back test 50 cents from here. Like on the daily time frame, we have a small support level there at 66 cents and then nothing until 38 cents. And we still haven't confirmed a monthly uptrend, which we know we still need to do to be confident that the bottom is in. And we're potentially starting a new multi-year bull market in MJ. So maybe you want to wait for a monthly higher low to add, right? Which would look something like that. And maybe we continue. We still have 20 days left in this month. So it's really anybody's guess at this point. It's hard to say what will happen. But if I had to put a finger on it, and if I was a betting man, I would say that we're probably going to hit $1 or pull back right under $1, or we'll get it a little bit more extreme over $1, and then that'll FOMO people in, and then they'll think that the reverse split is off the table, and then we might even get the reverse split news, might even get approved, right? It could, right? It might not, but you can prepare for all scenarios. You can prepare for it getting approved, not getting approved, right? Markets can do one of three things, up, down, or sideways. And if it's a reverse split, we can prepare for the inevitability of that getting approved or not getting approved. So as long as you have a plan for both, right, that's the main thing. And then, like I said, we have nothing nearby on the weekly moving averages until $1.82. So like I said, when things are beaten down this much, it doesn't take much to move the price, right? 100, 200, 300% based on these catalysts and based on the low market cap, right? If there's a $20 market cap, well, you only need another $20, right, to double it, right? If there's a $2 billion market cap, well, you need another $2 billion to double the price, right, to double the market cap. And then we're still a long ways away from seeing a golden cross as well, with the 50-day crossing through the 200-day moving average. And the 200-day moving average is there around $1.59. And a lot of their names are trending back to their 200-day moving averages. What did I say? Tilray got above its 200-day moving average. SNDL getting above its. So CGC, one of the leaders in the space, which was once the leader, right? It's probably going to go back to its 200-day moving average, right? And that's at $1.59.8. So that's about $1.60 USD. So again, we could continue to go up from here, but then we'll likely be due for a monster pullback, 20, 30, maybe even 40% over a course of a few days or weeks. And then we'll look for a monthly higher low, and then we'll get our monthly uptrend potentially over the next couple of months. Like I said, I'm expecting November, maybe late October, November to be when MJ stocks really start to kick in high gear. There's so much that I want to say, but I just have to end the video here, and we'll continue the conversation in the comments. But if you want more detail, I simply can't say everything that I want to say in a 10, 15 minute video. And there's tons of people in the POW group community now. We've got like 50 people in there. And this is what I do day in, day out, is I'm only one person. I'm looking at also buying another investment property at the moment. As you may have noticed, I'm a father-to-be, so I have a son or daughter on the way. I haven't figured that out yet. And I'm just one person. So I'll do my best to answer everybody's questions. I'm getting tons of questions about other stocks as well. And it's just, I physically don't have the time to do it all. So the majority of my time and focus is on the POW group private community. If you want to sign up for there, like I said, by all means, there's monthly and yearly options, and that's where I spend them. And I get a ton of Facebook messages directly as well. I just don't have time to answer everybody. And it's not just Facebook. It's on X, Twitter. It's on Reddit. It's on Stock Twits. Like, there's no shortage of people messaging me. I physically am not capable of responding to everybody. So if you want more tailored responses, and if you're asking me for tickers, you need to consider joining that POW group community. It doesn't matter to me if you do or you don't, but I can tell you that a lot of people who have gotten lots of benefit from that, and that's where majority of my time is going. So it's still multiple months likely before we see a golden cross here on CGC. So it's one of the laggards, and that's what's gonna happen, right? You're gonna see the leaders in the space, usually like Tilray, which is the leader in dollar volume, that saw the big move first, right? We said over 100% in that month, right? Just from the low there to the high of the next monthly candle, we were up 68%. And then the next month after that, we were up over 100%. So just in 2 monthly candles, we were up over 100%. And now other names are playing catch up. While the money is leaving, maybe some people the day traders are taking profit on CGC, on Tilray rather, then they're putting it into CGC. And then look, I said CGC could be a monster swing trade if we break 67 cents. That means the monthly bounce will be underway, and we had no resistance all the way up to 477 on the monthly on the price action, right? We have EMA 12, like I said, there at 204. So again, we could see more upside from here, but maybe around that $1 to $1.25 area is where we hit a top. We get really extreme on the RSI and overbought, which we already are, right? RSI sitting at 78, anything over 70 is considered overbought. But like I said, I could probably talk for another 10, 20 minutes just on CGC alone, but there's always going to be leaders and laggards, right? And that's what happens. The ones with the biggest market cap and the most dollar volume traded in a single day, like Tilray, that usually moves first. Why do you think like Canara Biotech's still stuck at $1 not doing anything? It's because it's a very low market cap. Why do you think other names aren't doing anything? It's because the tier 2s and the tier 3s and the smaller medium cap names run after. So again, Tilray is considered tier 1 and the biggest. So it ran first. And then now we're seeing CGC. And now we're seeing the US names run as well, right? But again, Tilray ran first. So again, I could make this video probably an hour long just talking about CGC, but that's just not feasible. Obviously, I got things to do. It's Friday. Wishing everybody a great weekend ahead. Make sure to take advantage of that 10% off on the POW merch sale. And check out powmerch.ca, or like I said, powgroup.ca or pursuitofwealthgroup.com for our membership options. Because like I said, that's the best way for me to help people. And I simply only have so many hours in a day. And that's where pretty much 90% of my focus is. So going to end it there. I hope you got value out of this video. If you did, you can share it around with anybody who also might find value in it. But it's Rod with POW Group. Thanks again for joining us in the Pursuit of Wealth. And we'll see you again on the next video. Hope you have a great weekend ahead.